another signing. Nelson
Cruz to the Padres.
Nelson Cruz to the Padres. Nelson Cruz still hanging on in the game of baseball. 1-year deal. The guy's pushing 50, but I think Nelson Cruz.
Is he 40, 48, 40?
I don't know what he is. Producer Taylor might know. He's a Padres fan. Tell me when you figure it out, Taylor.
Get in our ears.
But he is. I think Nelson Cruz could hit until he's like 80 years old. I just do. So I like the signing here.
Yeah.
$1 million. It's $1 million.
Which is like nothing for a player of his caliber for 1 year.
It's $1 million. He's 42 years old.
42. Yeah.
42.
Yeah.
I think he could hit for another 42 years, to be honest with you. So I don't hate it. I really don't. And the reason I don't is because he's not expected to come in and play every single day. If you recall, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. They signed Matt Carpenter, who looked like he had a resurgence last year after he went to Hitting Guru, who I went to out in L.A., Craig Wallenbrock, went out there, revamped his swing, revamped his career, it seemed, hit great with the Yankees, and now he's with the Padres. So he can platoon Matt Carpenter and face only lefties. So you're not expecting him to go out and rake every single day, you know?
No, I think the most important reason he is there is for his leadership. And his leadership in that clubhouse with these young stars is going to be priceless. Once you get Tatis Jr. back, you have Juan Soto, you have these very impressionable young stars that when you have a veteran of his caliber who has been there before, who knows how to handle himself in the game, outside of the game, this is what you need for these young players. I saw it Mike Trout's first year or his rookie season in the league with Torrey Hunter. Yep. And Torrey just took him under his wing, told him everything, just little things that can help you at the ballpark, away from the ballpark, how to handle yourself at the field, away from the field. There's just things that are, you can't really put a price on it. You just need the right person in there to help mold and be a role model for these younger guys.
And Tatis needs a role model.
Oh, 100%.
He needs to grow up. It's time. And having a guy like Nelson Cruz be around as a leader. And something that when I heard about this signing and I realized that he's probably going to be in more of a leadership role for the first time, I started thinking back on a conversation I had in one of the very first ever Flippin Bats episodes with Royce Lewis, who's a top prospect in the Twins organization, ended up getting hurt, but I think he's going to be a stud. But when Nelson Cruz was with the Twins, Royce Lewis became pretty close to him and leaned on him for a lot of information. And I remember a conversation that we ended up having, which was Royce talking about Nelson Cruz, talking about hitting to him. And it immediately came to me that this guy is way more valuable than $1 million a year because of just what he brings to a leadership role. And the conversation that I remember was fascinating to me and made me wish I was still playing the game of baseball because I would go back and do things differently. So we're going to play this conversation, and anybody that plays the game of baseball, anybody that's interested in hitting, I want you to listen close because this conversation that Nelson Cruz had with Royce Lewis is very, very interesting. So let's listen to that now.
I remember one game he said, like, yeah, I'm gonna sit on the slider, but if he throws a fastball, I'm gonna hit it really far. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then he went up there and he said, this is the at-bat. I think this is the at-bat. Goes up there and hits a homer. Like nobody's business. Like it was just an easy thing. And I'm like, that's a hard thing to do. Like this guy just hits a homer. I'm like, yeah, this is the big leagues. This is when it's the big leagues. These guys know what they're doing. They know how to control and handle their stuff. So it's pretty impressive.
Wait, so he said he's going to sit on the slider, but if he gets a fastball, he's going to hit it out. I guess that's why. How?
Yeah. His thinking on it, which I think I'm going to start really thinking about it. I think it's a really great idea is, if you're expecting the fastball, we can all hit fastballs. So when you get to the big leagues at that point, most of these guys can hit fastballs and hit it far. It doesn't matter if it's Jose Altuve, smallest guy in the league, or Aaron Judge, so fastballs are something that you just react and you hit the ball well. And he said that he has trouble with sliders, especially sliders away. Yeah. And so if he recognizes slider out of the hand, then he'll be able to take the pitches that are nasty or be able to hit the ones that are hanging earlier. And he said that the fastballs, you'll know if it's fastball, it's going to be looking different. So if you're looking for the slider, it's coming out like this, and all of a sudden there's something straight, you're just going to react. If it's in the zone, you're going to hit it because you played baseball for, he's 40 years old now, so he's played baseball for, I'm sure, almost 40 years, just as much as myself. It's one of those things where I think that terminology and way of thinking is it's almost outsmarting and kind of just yourself. You're outsmarting yourself in a way, and it's pretty impressive. It's deep.
Hearing the impact that he has on younger players, and that conversation, he wasn't on the Twins at that point, so that conversation happened a year prior.
Okay.
I mean, it's one, fascinating to me as a hitter, and also fascinating to see the impact he's having. I have no doubts he's going to be a huge pickup for the Padres, whether he hits 20 homers or not. I think he could go over there and not play a single game and have a big impact on that team. And that was a cool piece that I wanted to bring back.
Yeah, experience matters, and having veteran leadership, as I said before, is priceless, especially with a team who has had young players who have had some issues outside of the game of baseball. I mean, this is probably one of the smartest, it is baseball, but not like specific position offseason moves that the Padres made.
Yeah. Nelson Cruz is the GM of the Dominican Republic team in the World Baseball Classic.
I love this so much.
It's so great.
I love this so much.
I love that. And then he's just going to go hit in San Diego.
Yeah.
I love it. So I love the pickup there for the Padres. $1 million. I mean,
like, it's chump change.
Chump change to everybody,
for a player
right?
like
who
that.
cares?
Yeah.
I'd give him $1 million if I had it.
All right.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.